Hello, 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 and welcome again, good employees of the Urban Ecology Center, to another edutational video with your friendly local IT guy, Mark. Today, I'll be showing you how to use the new video conferencing program that we have, Join Me. So, that's the name of the application. Yeah, okay, it's not reading Rainbow. Anyway, let's start it up. The login credentials are already inputted. So if you need those, see your email, because I'm not going to say that in a public YouTube video. That would be a misstep. But once you got the application started, there's two methods to start your meeting. There's the one-time code method and the default method, the orange method, the vanilla method. I don't know. It's the one. It's the one that's already ticked. And that's the one that we'll be clicking. The distinction is, if you were to use the one-time code, that it would produce a code for another person to input into this field here on whatever application, on whatever platform they may happen to be using. So that would be good for if you wish to share a video with someone, or a video conferencing meeting with someone from outside of the organization, and didn't want people to just constantly be pinging our one meeting group. Because this application, currently, we only have a subscription for one meeting space concurrently. So if there were to be multiple people endeavoring to host meetings on the same address, then we could run into difficulties. So if there's interest, then perhaps in the future we'll roll it out to more concurrent meetings. But at the time being, it's pretty important to start up and close your meeting in the same time that you're using it, so that other people can use it. And this application will be installed on all of the Windows 10 computers throughout the organization, which is a pretty good proportion, about maybe around half, optimistically, of the computers. So in the coming month, that will be rolled out to the organization. And if you have a pressing need for your Windows 10 laptop to have it, then we will go and manually install it for you. And if there's a personal computer or something like that, we'll just attempt to give it to all the employees that are going to be making good use of it throughout the organization. So contact if you would like to set up a meeting or have any questions about how to set up a meeting. And currently you can see it's a very minimal interface. In the right hand side, you'll see this Urban Ecology Center default graphic, and that is the default picture of the default user for our account, of which we have only one, as previously discussed. So should you wish to share your beaming face with the masses, then you can click these two buttons. Right side is turn on my webcam. Left side is unmute myself. So obviously I'm talking to you right now, but I'm not talking to my own lonely meeting. So let's change that.
The conference will begin when the next party joins.
Whoa. I'm gonna move the actual camera. Beard's not quite long enough to get into my headset yet. So right now, as you can see with this orange border, that is the screencast occurring at this very point in time. So at this point, if someone were to join my meeting, they would be seeing my screen. So should you not want that, and you are the host who has hosted the meeting, you can pause the screen share, and everyone gets into weird bubbles like this, and they float around in space. Let me show you what happens when somebody joins the meeting in addition to yourself. Sorry, forgot to log in on this. Yes, just some leisurely downtime. You can collect your thoughts, uh, impress the knowledge into yourselves, and to join the meeting, as I'm doing now, with a separate webcam. You would just enter the code, and the code would generally be for meetings within the organization, Urban Ecology Center. Those 3 words with no spaces. And as previously discussed, if it was with someone outside of the organization that you wish to share it with, then perhaps the one-time meeting code would be ideal. So I've unlocked the meeting right then. And this is the webcam on my laptop. So whenever someone joins, they have to expressly allow you, or allow everybody, rather, to see the webcam that they've got and the microphone that they've got. And generally when you join the meeting...
You will now be placed into the conference.
You would do it via computer mode. Oh, I can hear myself. Oh, God. The loop. I'm muting myself. I'm muting that other self of me. But I will share the webcam. That's the street. Oh, look at it. It's a beautiful view of outside. We'd be there if we weren't inside learning about videos. So, you can move these bubbles around. We could probably do about 8 concurrent users if you wanted to. It's pretty fun. Really, we will be limited more by bandwidth than by the hardware of the computers that we're using. So you can have a good amount of users within the meeting itself. So whoever is hosted the meeting is pretty much the host. So if I wish to pass that presenter role to my laptop, which I don't want to do, but if I wanted to, I could pass it there. And then they would be the primary presenter, and they could share their screen and show their various PowerPoints to the world that they are so proud. And so it's pretty minimal. Hello, school bus. Have fun with school. So you got various options here. There's audio mode. So if you were to join, you couldn't see it on the other laptop when I was joining, but if you were to join, you could have the option to join by phone, and that would be akin to the conference calls of old. You will dial up to a particular number, which will be included in the email, and input a particular code. The code will always be the same for the default account, which is primarily what most users will be using. And call quality is pretty good, so if you were in a place that you didn't have sufficient data to actually video conference on your mobile device, say, but you still wanted to hear the audio of a meeting that's transpiring, that would be more than possible. So that may be a good solution in some cases. There is the chat functionality. You can refine by all the users that are currently in the meeting space. So you can type stuff. Wowee. And yeah, I hope that people can read. That's a good skill. As an English major, I support that. So, additionally, should you have a meeting that you wish to sort of illustrate a point with the annotation controls, they only work during the actual act of screen sharing, and you can share your full screen or just one particular screen. and you can just show a mouse pointer on the other person's remote screen. You could show squiggly lines. It's a good time. Highlighting things looks like. Lasers. I don't know what this is. It's very strange. I'll go back to laser pointer. Laser pointer is great. Snapshots. The folder where your snapshots are saved. So that could be a good method for presenting a particularly intensive topic, and you want to just underscore a particular point. You can also record meetings. We have something like 5 gigabytes of storage, so when you save it, it will go to the website, and then we can download it. But with 5 gigabytes of storage, we'll probably run out relatively fast after a few hours of recording, so do your best to expunge the old ones should you no longer have use for them. This is the lock meeting setting here, and that basically locks the meeting, and anybody who wants to join will have to get your authorization as the primary presenter to join the meeting. If you just want to unlock it, let everyone join to start, and then lock it afterwards. That's probably the best practice. If you're the presenter and you don't want cross chatter, you can mute everyone else, and so they're not hearing themselves talking through your own microphone, as you heard earlier. You can sometimes get a loop like that going, and if the loop gets good enough, it'll turn into a screeching wail, like someone hitting a microphone against an amp or something like that. Very undesirable. And there's more granular settings in there. Most of the technical settings should be solved by David and myself on the actual machine, so it should honestly be just as easy as it looks to set up and get running. Just point it to the correct webcam and the correct microphone, and it's off and running. The meeting scheduling will probably have to occur through Outlook Calendar and the various other methods that we've already got established for doing that. So there is integrations that we may look into with Slack and others, but for the time being, just send out your email at the time with the link and hope that everybody gets in there and has a good time. We have 250 concurrent users available, so theoretically, like, you could have 250 bubbles floating around. I don't know what happens when that happens. If the bubbles just explode out of this box or something. I don't have that many friends, so I'll never know, but could happen. And there are other applications via iOS and Android. So if you have need of it on your mobile device, it is a very simple setup. At least on my Android device, it was able to fire up pretty much immediately. No login required, and you could just join the group. To host the group, obviously, you need the actual application on an actual desktop computer, or by desktop I mean a real laptop. Maybe some Chromebooks can run Android apps or something like that, but that's not going to be able to host a meeting. So on an actual computer, you'll have to have the primary presenter role, but everyone else could theoretically join from their smartphone wherever they happen to be, and the performance is not too bad even through a cellular connection. So something to consider if you just wanted to at least hear the contents of a meeting without being physically present. That is more than possible. I think that's about it as far as adding people goes. You can send emails. It's going to be this link primarily for inter-organization meetings, which the vast majority of them probably will be. And if you have any problems and difficulties in setting up a meeting, scheduling a meeting, anything like that, or want access to the new AV cart, then David or myself can help you out, set up the cart, show you how to get your meeting running smoothly. So that's about that. And I hope you guys didn't have the worst time. I know the training is not exactly the funnest, but in the future, hopefully this will solve a little bit of our transportation issues between branches. By that I mean driving to 30 minutes for a 15-minute meeting or something like that. You no longer have to occur if you just need to get a few people on the line. Might be quicker to set up and tear down than a traditional conference call, and you still have those voice over IP features. And that's about that. So I hope you had a nice time, and I'll see you around. If you have any questions, mbissonet@urbanecologecenter.org. Thanks for your rapt attention. I appreciate it.